we have returned with some more Let's Play Trauma 2. When we last left off, we determined some more things about Rosalia and her death. And, we got the card's murderous intent. We know how she died. We don't know why she died. Anyway. We can try
This casing was found in the blue flower field. This tells us that
the shot was taken there. A shootout happened here. Bullets not here. A shot was fired here.
indeed, it means that the gun was fired here. And this is the place that Rosalia was found dead. The cause of death was a close-range gunshot through the heart. Thus,
Rosalia was killed here.
that's right. This is where Rosalia was cut down. But who?
Oh, thank you.
Dr. Kimishima, the analysis on the glass shard has been completed.
Huh, you mean the shard that was found near the entrance? Did you figure out whose blood that is?
Yes. At first I thought it might be Albert's, like the bloodstain on the floor. But it seems that the blood on the glass shard came from Rosalia.
She definitely cut her foot on the glass shard. That's my guess.
Rosalia's?
Yes, the DNA matches, there's no doubt.
Rosalia left a bloodstain indoors as well. What in the world is
She
this
was running
like?
out of the house. She stepped on it. She stepped on it.
This glass shard was found on the floor near the entrance. It came from the glass on the door after it had shattered. That piece of glass had Rosalia's blood on it. Her corpse's foot had a cut and signs of hemorrhaging on the bottom as well. This most likely means that
She stepped on the glass. She cleaned it up.
yes, Rosalia stepped on this glass shard and cut her foot. From the amount of hemorrhaging, she must have injured it just before her death.
What broke the glass?
Yes, these do give us something we can draw a conclusion from. When the glass on the door shattered, Rosalia
was standing inside the lab. So he missed the first shot or something.
That's right. Rosalia cut her foot on the broken glass. This proves that she left the room after the glass broke. Rosalia's foot was cut right before she died.
So it looks like the first shot from the desk, aimed at Rosalia, missed and hit the glass at the door. She tried to run at the door, stepped on the glass. Then the guy went to the door, shot again, probably hit her in the back of the thigh. And then she kind of fell or something, and she was on her back, and the guy came on top of her. She's like, and then she tried to defend herself, and he took the final shot, which made 2 bullet wounds.
Given the fact that there aren't
That's
any
my
more bloodstains
hypothesis.
from her inside the room, Rosalia headed outside immediately after cutting her foot on the glass. In other words, Rosalia was
running away. She needed phone reception. Oh my god.
yes. She most likely avoided the shot and ran from the room. The gun was obviously being pointed at. Indeed, the shooter had been aiming at Rosalia all along. That's why she ran out of the room. In doing so, she stepped on the broken glass, injuring her foot. That is what happened at the entrance to this room. 2 shots were fired from inside this room. If neither of them was from someone shooting further into the room, and someone inside was targeting Rosalia... Little guy. What is it?
Dr. Kimishima, we've located the lock.
Lock?
The lock? Oh, you mean the one that goes to the key found in Albert's clothes?
Oh, so like a whole investigation ago.
Yes, it was a safety deposit box in a bank. We've already taken it and the contents.
Good. What was inside it?
A 9mm handgun.
Dun dun dun!
Albert Albert Sartre's fingerprints were found on the grip as well. Could it be that the person who shot Rosalia was...
Let's confirm something before that. Was the gun
If it's
loaded?
missing 3 shots, we know.
Yes, the magazine holds 7 rounds, and it's possible to keep an additional round chambered. When the gun was found, there were 5 rounds in it.
5 shots. So the maximum number of bullets that could be missing from it is...
3. We can hold 8 rounds.
Indeed. And if the gun is missing 3 bullets, then...
Number of shots used here. I guess he doesn't really... Albert doesn't really like to reload.
Right. That's the same number of cases that were found here.
Dr. Kimishima, if I may?
Yes, what is it?
Well, luckily the gun is in condition to fire. If you can find one of the bullets from the scene there, we can use the rifling to determine if it had been fired from this gun.
Nonsense. You expect me to find something that can fly over 250 meters a second?
Well, yes, I know it might be a long shot,
Literally.
Looks like I don't have a choice. I'll let you know if I do find one.
Please do. I'll try to come up with a different plan from here. Dr. Kimishima, we've received the results of the analysis.
Good. Is it about the differences between the chest and thigh wounds?
Are you some kind of psychic super spy or something? Creepy.
You'll pay for that slip of the tongue, little guy.
Sorry, it was a joke.
Psychic super spy.
Fine, but I'll remember that. Just tell me what the report says.
Oh, yes. Regarding the comparison between the 2 wounds, looking at them, it appears that both wounds were made by the same caliber of gun.
Huh. But the wounds are of different sizes.
Yes, it's possible for wounds to be differently sized even from the exact same gun.
How can that happen? The reason I can think of is...
The distance, right? Sheer force of will.
I see. The bullets were shot from different distances, weren't they?
Way to go, Dr. Kimishima.
Sucking up to me won't spare you from my wrath.
She sounds so scary.
Keep telling me about the
Way
report.
to go.
Right. Comparing the wounds in the chest and
So was
thigh,
the chest was close range, thigh was long range.
the shot that struck her thigh was from a greater distance. If the chest wound was made from close range, the other shot would have been fired from about 8 meters away.
It seems that there's a big difference in the way she received both of these wounds, then. Yes, it looks like these can be used together. Rosalia had a laceration on her left foot and a gunshot wound in her right thigh. She was in no condition to walk. Her foot had been injured by stepping on the broken glass at the entrance to the lab. And when she was shot in the leg,
In the field of flowers.
that's right, Rosalia collapsed when she was hit in the leg. There's only one place in this lab a shooter could have been standing to shoot Rosalia in the field. That is...
Near the lab door. Inside a helicopter.
Yes, it's from the entrance to the lab. The bullet that hit Rosalia's thigh went completely through. It'll be difficult to find that bullet.
What is this? Albert's bloodstain.
The bullet that ended Rosalia's life. Looking around randomly for it won't get me anywhere. The number of bullets that were fired at this scene is...
3 shots.
Right. One shot in the flower field, one was by the desk, and another at the entrance. That's a total of 3 shots fired. Of these 3, which one was fired last?
One in the blue flower field.
That's right. The bullet shot in the field is the one that killed Rosalia. If it was before then, she couldn't have stepped on the glass, and there would be no need to shoot her leg. Then, What condition was Rosalia in when she was killed?
She was collapsed on the ground. Because she was shot in the leg.
Indeed.
And her
She
foot
was on the ground. Wait. Rosalia was lying on the ground when she was shot. She couldn't have been standing with those injuries to her foot and leg. So the shooter must have been standing above her, shooting down. That's right. The bullet that went through her chest must be...
I love how it just ends, just like, you know what to do. Go find it.
Here it is. This is the bullet that killed Rosalia. The bullet's in good condition. We'll be able to check the rifling on it.
Great. Good job, team. To the helicopter. To the chopper.
Hey, little guy. I found what you wanted.
You managed to find a bullet? I don't believe it.
You don't? Oh, I'll just throw this thing away then.
No. Come on, Dr. Kimishima, I need that. Seriously. She knew what I meant.
Did you say something?
No, I'll start analyzing it right away.
Tension.
Did you check the rifling?
It's a perfect match.
So that means...
Yes, there's no doubt at all that that bullet was fired from Albert's gun.
Interesting.
What in the world caused all this to happen, though? Ah, yes. We can use these to find a deeper truth. Dr. Sartre left a gun in a safety deposit.
Why wouldn't he throw it away?
Its rifling perfectly matches the bullet that
Or,
killed
like, melted
Rosalia.
it or something.
What this shows is...
Albert killed Rosalia.
Yes. Albert Sartre killed Rosalia. Rosalia and Albert lived together like a true family. What happened between them?
What did happen?
Oh, Dr. Kimishima, about the recorder.
What is it?
We were able to reconstruct one of the sound files.
Good. Can you tell when the recording was made?
Well, it seems to have been recorded after the one I gave you before, but
What's wrong? Did something happen?
it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Oh, sorry. Anyway, please try listening to the new recording. I've sent it over to you in the file Record 02.
All right, I'll make sure I hear it.
Okay. Wonder what this new file says. Just listen.
It's over. It's all over. I thought I'd found God's child. But it was a misunderstanding. It wasn't God. The devil. It's the devil. It was beyond human control after all. Everything. It was all over on that day. That day 6 years ago. It must be stopped. I must stop it. Oh, God. Please. Forgive my foolishness. Dr. Kimishima. The
God, so
results of
many.
the
I don't
analysis
even get a
are...
chance to, like, consolidate this information.
Good. Which results are we talking
The only
about
one that's
here?
left.
Oh, right. The one on Albert's bloodstain. Let's see. Traces of saliva were detected in the components of the
So he
bloodstain.
vomited.
Saliva. That means...
He was vomiting. Albert slit his wrist. He spit at him. He bleeds. He's like,
That's right. It means that the blood was from blood Albert had vomited.
Yes, that appears to be the case. Can you figure something out from that?
Well, Albert was infected with viral hemorrhagic fever. This disease causes severe attacks that trigger vomiting of blood.
Severe attacks. If it's the case, then he may have been like the other victims we've seen.
Yes. Just like Veronica Cage and Alma Parker, there's a possibility that the disease undermined his sanity and drove him mad.
Well, in any case,
starting to see the big picture behind what happened here?
Not yet. The most important truth hasn't been uncovered.
Do you mean the cause of the recent outbreak of this disease?
Yes. Albert died of viral hemorrhagic fever 2 years ago. Rosalia, the host to the virus, was killed even before that. So why would the virus begin spreading now? And how can we stop it? We don't have any answers for these important questions yet.
Sheesh. Looks like it's all over then. Well, I really don't have much to regret.
You sound so calm about it.
No. I can still do this. I'm not going to give up.
I thought you'd say that. I prepared another voice file.
Huh? You...
Oh, come on. Did you really think I meant that? Even I have something to live for, you know? Anyway, I've transferred the restored recording to you. The file name is Record 03. Give it a listen.
All right. Do you know when this was recorded?
Yes, I've listened to it, and it seems to be from before Albert lost his mind. The recorder doesn't have any more files for me to send you.
All right. I'll try listening to it. Rosalia was found dead in that field of blue flowers. I think I might finally be able to understand why now.
Alright, let's give this a listen.
The results of the experiments from the other day are in. It's a disaster. That virus. It's the most vicious and dangerous thing I have ever seen. No matter what attempts I make, nothing can stop their activities. They multiply and devour and destroy everything. How can she still be alive while that monster lives within her? I feel that her blood holds the secret to that. Her blood is the only key to saving all of humanity. I cannot give up. There's nothing more I can do to stall it. One day, this virus will be brought to heel, and I will return to that place, and...
Professor Sartre said that Rosalia's blood was the only key. This key that Rosalia had that allowed her to live with the virus was...
an antibody.
Yes. It was a glycoprotein called immunoglobulin. In other words, it was an antibody. The Rosalia virus is immensely powerful. The professor tried to extract the antibody in order to suppress and control its activity. That was a Pandora's box that should never have been opened. Rosalia's blood was too much of a danger to look into.
Girl with miraculous blood. I guess...
Little guy, I need your help.
Okay.
Oh, that's rare coming from you. What can I do?
I need to get to the bottom of these blue flowers.
Didn't we analyze those already?
What we know now may throw a new light on what we've looked at before.
All right, let's sort through our information again then.
Yes. Rosalia was found collapsed in the middle of these blue flowers.
That's right. We had a number of ideas about why that happened.
We thought that the killer might have moved the body before hypostasis set in. Another possibility was that Rosalia ran to the blue flowers herself.
Yes. Does any of that change with the information we've gained?
What if the flowers were not blue when she died?
Indeed. One of those possibilities has already been ruled out.
Huh? Which one?
Don't you see? It's...
The killer didn't move the corpse.
Yes. It's impossible for the body to have been moved after death. The reason for that is...
The bullet in the ground. Right.
Right. The bullet found in the ground beneath Rosalia proves she was killed right there.
Hey, wait. Try arguing against you for once.
What's that?
Never mind. It's still possible she was killed elsewhere, right? She could have been killed somewhere else, then dragged here and shot in the chest to cover it up.
But she had no other fatal wounds.
That's not possible. She was alive before she was shot in the chest.
Defensive gun wound.
The proof of that is...
Defensive wound in her hand. There is no proof.
Rosalia held up her hand to try to protect herself from the gunshot. This pattern of wounds could only happen if the victim was conscious at the time.
You're right. The student fails to defeat the master.
What do you keep muttering to yourself?
Nothing. Anyway, if that's the case, then that means that Rosalia ran to the blue flowers of her own free will. I wonder why.
I still don't have an answer for that. Yet. It might be a good idea to examine those flowers in detail once more.
She said detail before she said detail. This voice actor's not consistent. Alright, she said examine those flowers again, so back to the flower fields. Whenever I say flower fields, I think of Paper Mario. Okay.
These blue flowers. I can't believe such a vibrant color exists in nature. I should send a picture of this to Little Guy and have him study it. There could be a reason for why Rosalia had collapsed here.
Okay, let's go back. Let's see what we can find. To the chopper!
Little Guy, I've collected some samples of the flowers.
Huh? Why?
I want to know why Rosalia collapsed there. There's no guarantee that it will help us, but there's a chance we might learn something useful.
Okay, it's worth a shot.
Good. Thanks for the help.
Yeah. What the?
What's the matter?
Oh, well, this flowers. It's Asclepius.
What are you talking about? The red flowers are the Asclepias. I want you to tell me about the blue flowers.
That's what I'm saying. These are Asclepius.
What are you saying?
He's saying those are Asclepius.
Asclepias doesn't have blue flowers.
Yes, there are no known breeds of blue Asclepius. But from the shape and the structure, this is an Asclepius blossom. This flower shouldn't exist.
What?
What in the world is it then? Let's try sorting out the information we have.
Uh-oh.
The blue flowers in the center of the field are Asclepias, just like the flowers surrounding them. Then why are the blue flowers only around Rosalia? The reason for this is most likely...
They became discolored.
That's right. Those flowers must have become discolored for some reason. A probable cause of that is...
Rosalia's blood. Abnormal weather.
Indeed. Rosalia was shot through the heart. Rosalia would have lost a large amount of blood from that wound. That blood then seeped into the ground around her. This miraculous blood, containing both the divine and the demonic. The flowers around her body absorbed Rosalia's blood from the soil. That, in turn, caused the flowers to take on this unnatural blue hue. I don't want to believe it, but that's the conclusion that I have to arrive at.
Well then.
Yes. These allow us to finally figure everything out. It's no coincidence that Rosalia's body was surrounded by these blue flowers. They were normal red flowers until she died. When she died, her blood soaked into the ground. The Asclepias flowers absorbed her blood and changed color. Most likely what caused the color change in the flowers was...
Rosalia's blood. Solid evidence.
That's right. The demon within Rosalia's veins lived on after her death, finding another viable host in the blue Asclepias flowers.
I can't believe it. How could such a thing...
It may be unbelievable, but it is the truth. The corpse itself is a testament to that.
Huh? The corpse?
Yes. Remember, Rosalia's corpse had turned completely into adipocere. Adipocere normally occurs when the bacteria that break down bodies do not multiply for some reason. This normally occurs when the corpse is stored in anaerobic conditions for long periods of time. But this is hardly an anaerobic location. The reason her body became adipocere was not due to environmental or weather conditions. It was because the virus within her continued to protect her body.
But Blue Asclepius are harboring the Rosalia virus, how does that connect to the pandemic going on right now in America?
My sound just went out. Are you kidding me?
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
You're right. The Rosalia virus is only passed on via
Right.
contact with the
Rosalia
mucous
virus only passed on
membranes.
via contact with the mucous membranes. Okay, I'm gonna try to do some quick editing here, just to stop and restart it, so I can hear the sound. So, 3, 2, 1, BAM! Any change? Hope not. Anyway, continuing.
Even if this entire field was filled with flowers holding the Rosalia virus, it wouldn't be able to cause the outbreak in Portland, over 3,000 kilometers away.
Then how?
There was a vector.
A vector?
Yes, some method of transmission that carried the virus from these flowers. This is how the virus spread to cause the infections in cities hundreds of miles away from here.
Huh? What?
Can't you tell? It's...
The butterflies! Death on golden wings.
That's right. The butterflies that led us here carry the virus. The monarchs are the vector for the Rosalia virus. This is how the Rosalia virus has spread.
Conclusion reached!
Dr. Kimishima, can I bother you for a moment?
Alright.
Yes, what is it?
You might not need this anymore, but I reconstructed another voice file.
Another one? I thought you'd said that you'd repaired them all.
Yes, this file was actually marked as having been deleted. It still existed in the memory, though, so I was able to reconstruct it.
I see. When is that recording from?
From looking at the date, it's right before Albert lost his sanity.
All right. Still, it's unusual for you to go and do something unnecessary like this.
Yeah, well, not sure how to put this. I felt this was something that I needed to pass on to you.
Okay, I'll try listening to it.
Please do. It'll be file Record 04.
Okay, let's listen to this then. Wonder what it is. The music. I haven't even started playing it yet. Well, here we go.
I'm Rosalia. I live here with my daddy. My daddy is really nice and says a lot of nice things. Daddy's a great doctor. He says he's going to save everyone from diseases. He says I've got a poison and a cure in my body, and that the poison's really scary, but the cure is really amazing. That's why he's researching how to get that medicine out of me. If that medicine is made, I wonder if it'll heal everyone. And then I can make lots of friends and play with them. Daddy's really bothered right now because the research is difficult. But I think I'll be okay if I can stay here like this. I can't see my brother or my big sis. But Daddy's always here for me. He's always laughing. It's really funny. I think Daddy will be happy if he can get the medicine out of me. The exams hurt, but if Daddy's happy, I'll be okay. So I hope that Daddy's research comes true soon, and then everyone can be healed.
That's sad.
A father who wanted to end all disease, and a daughter who wanted nothing but his success. This is far too sad a conclusion to their stories. And yet, now I can see the truth behind everything that happened here. This... I see. I understand now. Let's put together the truth of what happened here. We came here to find an antiserum in Rosalia's blood. But what we found was that Rosalia had already been killed. I have in my hands the card stating what killed her. How could I do that?
Oh, the one who murdered her.
Yes. The bullet's rifling matches that of Albert's gun. There's no doubt that Albert Sartre was her killer. 3 shots were fired. This card shows how it began.
The one at his desk.
Correct. Albert pulled the gun from his desk and fired. He was aiming at his loving daughter, who stood at the door. However, he missed, and the bullet went through the glass. Whether this is due to hesitation or his condition is unknown. Rosalia fled the room, trying to escape. The blood on the glass shard is from her stepping limit. She ran in desperation, but this prevented her escape.
Because her leg shot from the entrance.
That's right. Albert stood in the doorway and shot her. The bullet pierced Rosalia's leg and she collapsed. Albert caught up with the frightened girl as she lay there. And then...
That scared me.
Yes. He ended her life. But Albert didn't kill Rosalia because he wanted to. He truly loved Rosalia as he would his own daughter. But he had no choice but to kill her. This card shows the reason why. Albert had been infected with the Rosalia virus. However, this virus does more than infect the body. It eats away at the heart and soul, as in my other cases. Because Albert knew of the virus's threat all too well, in order to exterminate it, he killed his own child. And yet, ironically, he may have caused the exact opposite. The blood spilling from the gunshot wound in her chest provided the Rosalia virus with a new host. This is the true cause of the spreading infection. Yes, the blue Asclepias flowers around her body drew in Rosalia's blood and became a new host for death. And so, the mass infection began. A certain organism served as a vector for the virus. Monarch larvae store toxins of the plants that they ingest. The monarchs carrying the Rosalia virus migrated north, and as they went, they showered death in golden scales. This is the truth behind how the virus spread. Rosalia never. Neither did Albert. No one intended for it to end this way. One sought an end to all disease, and the other his success. But that was the beginning. The evil sealed in Rosalia gained wings and flew. That's what Rosalia's last word meant. This is the whole truth, illuminated by the light of life. You must have suffered too. Let's end this.
Naomi, come quick! We got the equipment working!
All right, I'll be right. Oh,
Hey, Naomi? What's wrong?
it's nothing. Let's go.
It's not nothing. Let me take a...
She's coughing up blood.
You...
As I said before, we don't have much time. We still have a job to do, and we must accomplish it.
Hey, wait! Hey!
How's it coming, Agent? Did you find anything?
We've got the power back on, as you can see. The rest's a pile of records, chemicals, and equipment. You?
It's all been solved. Albert Sart killed Rosalia.
How sad. His effort to save the world is close to killing it.
Yes. He must have realized the virus couldn't be used. That is what caused this tragedy to strike.
So, did you find a countermeasure to the virus?
Yes. The virus's vector is the monarchs. The scales they lose during migration are spreading it.
Don't tell me. The quarantine failed because...
The monarch migration pattern extends from Mexico to Lake Erie. Even if the virus isn't airborne, it will still spread.
Damn it! What should we do then?
Naomi, I gathered as much as I could.
Flowers? What are you planning on doing?
I'll use antibody stabilizers to extract an antiserum.
You can do that?
Yes. Thankfully, this facility has the necessary equipment. I'll make the serum contain tripeptides in N-terminal order.
All right. Just tell me what to do to help you.
Of course. Let's get this over with as fast as we can.
Oh god, not Tomoe. Alright guys, well that was Naomi's one. We figured out how the virus is spreading, where it came from, and what exactly went down with Rosalia. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and we're gonna go up to Tomoe next. Yay. I'll see you guys later.